Okay, so what we got here is a Colt. It's a replica. I'm assuming by the looks of it, it is a WinGun, but this is one that if I could find would be fun to have for sure. You know, maybe a cartel loadout or something ridiculous. But anyways, it's a pretty old one. Customer bought it at Walmart. Worked great, but now the cylinder is not cycling properly, so it doesn't shoot. So basically, what we got, I'm going to take this apart and see what's slipped. These revolvers are not horribly hard to work on. They're really, if anybody feels intimidated by them, you shouldn't. It's really simple trigger mechanisms. But basically, you're going to take out a total of 7 screws. 1, 2, 3. This is the longest screw right here. Number 3, 4, 5, oh, and then 6. This black one, why this is black down here, I don't know. But those are your screws. You have 4 small ones, which are going to go, basically, if you want to say clockwise, go 1, 2, 3, 4, moving in a clockwise direction, or 1, 2, 3, 4 for the small ones. And then this long one here is this. There's a pin up here. You don't need to remove that pin. So once you get this, I'm taking out the black screw. I take this out, and then hopefully you guys will be able to look and see inside and see what's going on. These revolvers are really not that horrible. I just think people get overwhelmed because it's different. But I actually think they're pretty dang easy to work on. What I like about them is how the hammer system works with the valve and everything. This is your valve. It's all pretty tight, nice, concise. Anyways, so, alright, so we took it apart. Right now, the first thing that's wrong is this is the cam lever. This spring is on top of this. So I think the arm that holds this in place might have broken off. So that's why it slipped. Either that or he might have been trying to do the John Hickok I'm your Huckleberry hammer slam, and maybe not realizing you got to hold the trigger down for that to work, but it doesn't really work with these guns. Alright, so we're going to put this back on, get our cam, line this cam back up. Alright, so there we are. We're lined back up. Put that spring back on. Seem to be good. I think that's it. Nothing else seems to be in trouble. Our safety is good. Okay, safety's pretty safe. If you look at it, the mechanics of it, it goes back down here. Boom, underneath the trigger. That's it. That's the safety. Trigger spring is on. As you can see, all this stuff is pretty dang accessible, and it all slides off pretty easy. Okay? What's actually hitting is not this hammer. Okay, so if you don't see this hammer hit or strike, that's not what's getting the gun to fire. What's happening is the gas comes out here, goes through this valve body, which gets hit here by this piece back here underneath the hammer. That hits the valve there, that opens it up, that sends the gas through the tube up here and out here to the shell. Okay, so this has nothing to do with it. That's just looks. But where you get your gas and your energy from is from this valve here being set. This whole valve body comes out, and you can actually go through it, clean it if you wanted to. But yeah, it's the only real downside is once these valve bodies do go, I will say it's a pain to get the parts. But a lot of people sell them boneyard, so you could probably find one and fix it. But anyways, so this cam lever seems, this guy here came off. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to check and see if there's a hole on the other side. It wouldn't make sense that there would be a hole because there's no reason why that would have popped off. But that would be great if there was a hole. But if we're looking, there's not a hole, or maybe that, now see? I don't know, let's see. You know what, let's try this. Let's put that back in. Yeah, see, we have this here. This curve is going to follow this curve. So what would be great, or, you know what I'm going to do, what we could do, or what would be a cool, worthwhile mod, put this back in, okay, and if this is an issue, mark this here, take a jeweler's file, okay, take a jeweler's file right here, and file a groove right there to keep that from coming out, like that just did, and flew off on the other side of my workbench, hopefully into an area where I can find the dang spring. So there you go. Not a perfect world. As I'm trying to show you guys, I tap this thing and off it goes. But I know it's on one half of the desk. Alright, so I'm going to pause this and then go look for it. Alright? Yee! Real life.